Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan from Operation White Hat, and coming to you this morning just to share a little information and to ask you to join up with us on Operation White Hat. And it's a process of helping to save our country from the Black Hats. And we all know who they are and how they operate. And to also help to raise up your standard of living spiritually and physically and emotionally the way that God intended for us to live and the type of society for us to form. So, what really has pushed many of us over the edge over the past, well, let's say since November election, it's not just the fact that the election is now, we can see, has been rigged. There's possible influence from multiple countries, or at least what appears to be countries, operatives within those countries, and globalist, let's say it's the Fourth Reich, which is in every country. So we know the elections have got a major problem. You're not alone. There are millions of us at this point in time who realize what's going on. Also, that's when the entire rollout of this biological pandemic occurred, with this severe flu that is survivable under the right circumstances. And what we have faced now is what we are facing is something right out of a George Orwell 1984 style movie, where we are watching the play out of the predictive magicians in Hollywood and the producers and these high ranking, let's say, wizards in these secret societies who have used different means to bring about the things that are going on now. That may sound over the top for some of you, but let's just say people are doing bad things for money. I know some of you can handle that. Some of you more in-depth people who realize what's really going on is these ultra-wealthy people don't need money. They've got all the money in the world. They can print it out and produce it. They get it for free out of life insurance policies they have, and different plans and scams and ways of producing income off of your energy and life existence. So my big point here is that things have gotten super serious with the fact that it seems, in my opinion, take it for what you want, that this severe flu, on top of election being rigged and stolen by a country who needs farmland to feed its people and doesn't want you here, and doesn't mind sacrificing a few of their own people. I'm not going to say China if it is China, but they've agreed to it anyway, along with these globalists. We have all had loved ones get sick. Now we've had friends die. And I want to tell you the oddity of all of it is that very, very few people that I know have had anyone get a respiratory problem and pass away at home. They all get nervous. They go to a certain medical facility where what some doctors say that people would be better in 3 or 4 days. In fact, some of them, Robert David Steele, said, hey, my blood oxygen now is up to 90-some%. I'm good. I should be out of here in a couple of days. Zada bing, zada zap. He's a huge opponent of all of this protocol that's going on. Somehow he ended up in a medically induced coma through drugs, put on a vent, and he died in a few days. Same thing with Rob Skiba. He got sick from a conference. All of them went to some conference and suddenly got sick. After all this time, a whole year's gone by, they go to a conference it's as if someone else is at the conference released some kind of biological issue that got them sick. You can be a conspiracy denier, but what are the chances that Robert David Steele, Rob Skiba, and Russ Dizdar, three huge opponents of what's going on, also two of these individuals were huge in preventing and stopping ritualistic child abuse, pedophilia, and child trafficking and human trafficking. They were some of the largest speakers against this. And suddenly they go to a conference, different conferences. They go to different conferences, leave, and then suddenly come down with a severe case of respiratory issue. They go to the hospital. The family completely opposes. No, do not do this protocol. The hospital basically tells them, oh, did I say hospital? Medical facility, in my opinion. Basically locks out the family and then protocols them, and they die within a few days. I don't know if you have a loved one, but we have friends and people who the same exact thing happened or is happening to now. The difference is they know people who know attorneys and know advocates and things that are forcing these protocols. I'm not saying the hospital is knowingly murdering people, but if I, not being a doctor, were to be given the choice of doing this protocol, which seems to be giving people a form of induced pneumonia, and then the people are dying, or being given this protocol, which gives them certain medicines and people are better in 3 or 4 days. If I did this protocol, and gosh, I'm not a doctor, but if I was a doctor, I would think I would be even more informed that doing this would probably lessen the chance of somebody surviving than doing this. So you draw the conclusion as to whether these doctors have gone Nazi level, whether they are really helping, whether they're really for your best interest, whether they're really heroes, right? Ask yourself this question with all the propaganda, because every evil organization that does things to harm you, you bet the media is going to run some kind of protocol about heroes and doing the right thing and how everybody else is a conspiracy theorist and stuff. All I know is the white hats know better. And it seems like the black hats have now figured out how to sneak in, to use influence and get rid of, let's say it's just for financial reasons. They are able to get rid of proponents who oppose them. So my conclusion is, in my opinion, that it's very possible that these outspoken people with tens of thousands of people around the world who follow and listen to them went to a conference, someone released something there into the air, or however they came down with this respiratory problem in a severe way, and wherever they ended up, you know that there are people with influence who can make sure things happen, and the family was locked out, advocates were denied, and now they are dead. I can't say that for a fact. I can only use perhaps statistical probability, logic, and I realize there's hater type of people out there, black hats, who are conspiracy deniers on purpose because this interrupts their flow of life, their agenda, their way of keeping the black hat rebellion going. But it's good for us because the good guy always wins. And you and I are going to get together and we're going to win the country back. See you guys.